Hi, this is Jaya. Now we shall see the summary of Namesake by Jhumpa Lahiri. This is her first novel and it was also made into a Hollywood film in 2007 and it was directed by Meera Nair. It's a very beautiful story. Come, let's go to the summary. In the beginning of the novel, we find Ashima Ganguly expecting her child. And the place is near University of Cambridge and the time period is 1968. Now she is making snacks for her husband Ashok and she shares with him. And from their conversation we understand that they have had an arranged marriage and they met in Calcutta, which is their native place. And after marriage they have come to Cambridge. And Ashok had studied in MIT and he has done his electrical engineering there. And in the beginning, Ashima did not know anything about Ashok, but as per the Indian culture, she got married to him and she has come and settled down here. And now she gives birth to a boy baby in the hospital in Cambridge. And now the doctors asks what name they should register the baby. And according to the Bengal culture, the elder person in the family will give a name and that will be the official name for the child. So they are saying that we are waiting for the name to come from India, but the doctors say that they will have to register the name. At that time, Ashok thinks about his favorite writer, Nikolai Gogol. He is a Russian writer and he decides that he can name the child as Gokul for now and that can be his pet name. So he mentions that to Ashima and Ashima also agrees and so they register the boy's legal name as Gokul. And Gokul is Ashok's favorite writer and he has a reason for it. Now once when he was reading this writer's book, the train met with an accident. And one dropped page of the books only helped the authorities to recognize Ashok and they saved his life. So what happens is he names his child as Gokul, his favorite writer's name. And they are waiting for the official name to come from Calcutta. But Ashima's grandmother, she has got a stroke. She is suffering from stroke. So therefore her mail does not reach them. And then afterwards the family is now settled here and they keep going around and Gokul occupies most of the time of Ashima. And Ashima finds it very difficult to do the housework as well as maintaining the child. So Ashok starts helping her in housework. And as they are passing their life like this, they get the news that Ashima's father is dead. Now actually they had already planned to go to India to show the baby to the relatives. But now they have to go after this sad news. And Ashima starts missing her parents and her home in Calcutta. And of course they have already built a network here in their place where they have got all the Bengali friends as a group and now they have become as a second family for them. Ashok also now finds a teaching job in electrical engineering and Gokul starts going to school. And in the school they have to give one official name. So they give him the name Nicola. But Gokul is so fond of his own name and he insists that the teachers register him in the name of Gokul. And the teachers also respect the small child's feelings and they register him as Gokul and not as Nikil as the parents have said. And of course Ashima and Ashok, they don't think much about it, so they leave it. Then they have another child and that is a girl and they name her as Sonia. Now the family starts settling down there, they feel well settled and the children also start growing. And as he is growing, Gokul starts understanding that everyone finds his name a little bit different because everyone knows that he is from India and Gokul is not an Indian name. And one day when the teacher is talking about the writer Nikolai Gogol, he comes to realize what a tragic life the writer has had and is horrified that his father had given him that name. And on his 14th birthday, Ashok gives a collection of Gokul stories to him as a present. And he just slightly mentions about the train accident but not in detail. And Gokul takes a book from his father and he is not interested in reading the book at that time, so keeps it in his cupboard and later he forgets it. And Gokul goes and he changes his name as Nikhil officially before he goes to Yale for his higher studies. And there he meets a girl, Ruth, and he falls in love with her and they date for more than a year. And he'll always come back in the weekends to meet his parents, and he kept his affair with Ruth also away from his parents. So at home he was a very good son. One day the train gets delayed in which Gokul is coming, and once he reaches the station he finds his father in utmost tension, because it reminded him of his own train accident which nearly killed him when he was in India. And Gokul is not able to understand the full intensity of Ashok's feeling, and then Ashok tells him about the train accident which nearly killed him, and that is the reason why he gave Gokul his name. And Gokul till now he did not know the reason why his father gave him the name as Gokul, and of course he doesn't give much importance for it. And Gokul, who has kept his name as Nikhil now, develops a love for architecture, and so he goes to Yale to study designing, and then he goes to a design school at Columbia. And of course, because of his studies he stays in Manhattan, and there he meets a girl named Maxine. And this Maxine lives a very cosmopolitan life with her parents, and Nikhil also moves into Maxine's home, and they two date very seriously. And Gokul goes to the extent of even introducing Maxine to his parents, and she also comes and stays there with the parents. And it is very evident that Maxine's family is entirely different from his family. Now Ashok gets a professorship, visiting professorship in Cleveland, so he has to move there, and he comes only home once in 3 weeks, and that is to take care of the household chores. And Ashima starts living alone because all the children are grown up, and all the three, that is a husband, a son and a daughter, start taking care of their own life. And one day Ashima gets a call from her husband saying that he is admitted in the hospital for a minor stomachache and nothing to worry. But later they get the news that Ashok has died of a heart attack. The whole family is stunned because they never expected this, and Gokul immediately flies to Cleveland and he clears all his father's apartment, and they observe a Bengal practice of mourning there. And noticing all this, Maxine finds that she is total stranger to all this. And after that, somewhat Maxine's and Gokul's relationship gets strained. And Gokul goes to New York, and now he makes it a point to visit his mother and sister very often. And Ashima also tries to make Gokul meet another girl called Moshmi, who belongs to a family friend, and she is doing her PhD in French literature in New York. Now Gokul and Moshmi, first they did not like the idea of dating, but slowly they start understanding each other, and they start liking each other, and they also fall in love, and within a year they also get married, and the marriage takes place in a large Bengali way in New Jersey. And that is a place where Moshmi's parents are also there, so they rent out an apartment and they start living together. And the couple, they keep going to Paris, where Moshmi delivers a paper in the conference, but slowly the relationship gets strained. And Moshmi, she loves to spend her time with her artistic Brooklyn friends, whereas Gokul finds them frustrating and is not interested there. And he also does not like the way Moshmi moves with her ex-fiancé, a banker, and all the artistic crew. But Moshmi loves them, and she loves spending her time there, and she starts feeling that marriage is confining her. And at that time she comes across one of her old friends who has a difference in the age. He is quite aged compared to her, and his name is Dimitri Desjardins. And suddenly they start an affair, and she keeps it secret from Gokul. But somehow Gokul finds it out, and then she also admits for that affair, and they divorce. Now Gokul returns to his mother and sister, and Sonia gets married to a man named Ben. And Ashima, now she spends her time, half the time in Boston, half the time in Calcutta, because she wants to be close to her relatives. And Gokul also continues working as an architect in New York, and he finds working in smaller firms very nice, because it gives him a more creative way, like he can do it more, he can bring in all his creativity there. And one day he goes to his room and there he finds a copy of Gokul's novels which his father had given him when he was 14 years old. And he realizes that how much that writer meant to his father, and he begins reading the book. And the novel ends here. It's a very beautiful story. Please read the original book to understand the real beauty of it. And if you have anything to add on to this, please write it in the comment box. Like the video, share it with your friends, and if you're not subscribed my channel, please subscribe. Thank you.